Well, I mean, I don't really have any opening statements. I mean, I think it's pretty evident what happened out there. I guess I do have one. When you go on the road and if you don't stop the run and turn the ball over, usually it can be disastrous. But these group of guys keep playing. Our coaches made adjustments. We really didn't play very well in general. And early in the week, when I was visiting with you guys on Monday, I had said that Kansas State's famous for stealing yards and special teams and penalties. And in penalties, we were down 36 yards, and return yards, we were down 120 something. So they stole 150 yards from us in special teams and penalties. And I talked all week about it. So obviously, I need to get somebody else to talk about penalties and special teams. And our kicker, Amendola, did not kick the ball very well today, which didn't help. But we got to stop. There was 5 minutes and 40 seconds, however, what I think is when they got the ball. And we got to stop. And we were able to put a drive together in the end where I think most of the yards were on the run, on the ground. And I thought Chris Carson was excellent, thought 27 was excellent. We were able to block them in the running game better this game than we had in years. I'm talking about years, because when we came up here and won in 2010, we didn't play very good at all. We weren't good on offense that day. I think they turned it over 3 times, and that's really the only reason we won. So I was proud of our ability to run the football. We've got to come up with a couple answers in stopping the run. They're a little unique in the tight end and the fullback and the wing that they use, and down block and pull, and the quarterback run game. You're always a half man short. But I thought we got schemed pretty good in the run game. Rudolph actually played better after he turned the ball over a couple times than he did before. Why that is, I don't know. He missed some throws, 4 or 5 throws. One of them he missed on a guy that was wide open. They picked it off and ran it in for a touch. But after that, he came together, played well. You know, you say what you want about the guy. He's won a lot of football games. Played terrific in the last half of the fourth quarter. And got a big stop, found a way to get it done. It was interesting at the end of the game when they completed the pick play and the officials stopped the clock because of the penalty. The game would have expired. I don't think they could have got a snap off. So they got a little bit of a break there. And I was hoping they'd give us a 10-second runoff and end the game, but they didn't give it to us. So, but it was a good win for us. I was proud of our team. You know, we lost Billy today. Billy's got an injury, and he's out for the year. So we were kind of down one guy there. But I was proud of everybody, proud of our team.
That's a heck of an opening statement.
Yeah, I know. It's what happens when you get old and do it as long as I do it. Now, I'm not anywhere near like Coach Ward, right? His opening statements are like 28 minutes or longer, and he uses a lot bigger words.
On your last touchdown, were you wanting to score that soon? Were you wanting to run clock, kick the football? I mean, what was the thought process there?
I joked with the guys. I said, I wish y'all would have told Carson to slide on the 5-yard line if he gets in the open. And they didn't think that was really funny. They said you got to score if you got to score. But everybody here that watches Big 12 football knows with the quarterback play we get in this league, no lead is ever safe. And that's why the games are like this. And I mentioned this Monday that Kansas State and Tech and TCU and OU, we're going to be in a battle in the fourth quarter almost in every game just because of the style of play and the quarterback. And Kansas State is a more of a traditional running team, but if you go and look on the history, they're pretty good in 2 minutes. They've always been pretty good, and the reason why is because they're really good pass protectors, and their quarterback sits there and sits there. So no lead is ever safe in this conference.
Coach, were you surprised with how 4th and 1.
You talking about when it was 4th and 1 for them?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't have any any grounds to ever doubt something Coach Snyder would do. I mean, obviously, he knows more about his team than I do. Traditionally, for years, he's played percentages. He's somewhat of a genius when it comes to that, and I'm guessing in his world, that's what he thought was best. But they had 2 3rd and shorts, I think. I know the one you're talking about. They had another one, and both times we stuffed them. So sometimes, as a head coach, just my thought is I have a hard time going forward on 4th and 2 if I just got stuffed on 3rd and 1, unless you feel like you have some sort of a pass play. So.
Mike, you called all the timeouts there at the end. I know to try to get looks at what they were doing, but
Mhm.
your defense seemed to sort of get a little energy, some offensive guys coming off the sideline talking to them. What you see, especially after it's first and 10 from the 20 there, they're looking like they're not on the board.
We had the timeouts, and we felt like they were getting to a point in the game where they had to. We could narrow it down to two or three plays based on their formation. So I said, why not use them and play the odds? And so we called a timeout after they lined up, and just in the history of them, it's 2 or 3 plays really, because they're pretty entrenched in what they do. They always have been. And that's why we use those to try to give our guys an idea of what we thought. It doesn't mean we're always right. We could be wrong. But I thought, why not? Might as well talk about it.
Mike, can you talk a little bit about Jerome Morrow and what he means to the team? He's a Kansas kid.
I've got 3 sons, and if they could grow up and be like him, it'd be a heck of a deal. He's first class. He's been raised the right way, comes from a great family. He's going to get his degree in 4 years. He plays some backup for us on defense, and he will play on every special team, and you can rely on him every day of the week. Never shows up on any misses for classes or anything. His attitude's good, and you can win a lot of football games with a young man like him.
Mike, you mentioned some stats, Mike, that were working against you. Just the score itself, you're down 13 early,
Mhm.
the place is going bonkers, and then you're down 9, I think, twice, 2 different occasions in the second half. I think the term coaches would use in what you're talking about, and just the score situations today would be, sort of a character.
Well, it didn't look good, did it?
Right, yeah.
I mean, we've done that before. We did that last year quite a bit. I'm not sure why, and I certainly don't favor it, but what you're saying is exactly right. We were down 13, 9, and 9. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And that's percentages are you're not going to come back very often. And we stress never showing any fear, never showing any fatigue, and never showing any frustration in our organization. And 2 of those came to light by not showing frustration. Coaches or players, we're not allowed to show frustration. And then the fatigue, I thought in the latter part of the game that we were in better condition and more fresh than they were today.
The last time you guys were down 9, 8 minutes left, and obviously they're pretty good at milking the clock. That long touchdown to Washington, how much did that change you guys on the sideline?
Well, that was a huge momentum swing, right? I was a little surprised that we were able to get him behind them. I'll be real honest with you. We have plays built for him to do that, and when the play was called, I told Yurcich that he's crazy. There's no way they're going to let him behind the defense. And he said, well, let's just take a shot and see. And I said, well, that'll be fine, but it won't work. And so after that, he scored a touchdown. I just clicked my headphone off so I didn't have to hear everybody beat me up over. He made a good play call. But I thought he was excellent today in his calls and keeping them off balance. And I thought the defense was good at making adjustments in the second half at the start of the 4th quarter and finally getting a little bit of a head up or a leg up on the run game. Prior to that, we were really struggling in that area.
Mike, you've traditionally been a good second half team this year, but that was a rough 3rd quarter with penalties and
Mhm.
turnovers. What do
if they score in the end and it doesn't turn out like this, then this press conference is, if you're poor in special teams, you turn the ball over and you can't stop the run, it's hard to win any football game, much less here, where everybody knows they got a heck of an environment here. The engagement in their fans, the engagement with their students, their band, the way it's orchestrated, they got a great game day environment here. And I told the team that it's a great accomplishment to come up here and win in this environment, unless you come in with a team that's just way more talented than them, and we're certainly not in that position.
Get 240-plus yard receptions from Blake Jarwin today.
Mhm.
Hope you get that out of him this point of the year. Maybe teams don't expect him to be a downfield.
Well, we know we've talked about our cowboy backs, and they need to be involved in our offense more. About a month ago, we talked about this on a Monday, and since then, Mike and them have done a good job bringing them into our offense. And Blake Jarwin is a very talented player, and I'm not so sure he can't play at the next level doing something. He's probably not thick enough to play online, but I would certainly like to see him get a shot, because he's a lot more talented than what people think. When you get him in game day, he's deceptively faster because he takes real long strides. And he is a great young man, and he loves to play, and he loves Oklahoma State. He falls in the same category as Morrow. And you can win a lot of games with guys like that.
Mike, when you consider all the things that you've listed off, penalties, return yards, turnovers,
Mhm.
just on and on, and you still come on the road and win this game. I mean, is this just one that you almost have to pitch out the film because it's so weird and random and?
Well, we need to get on the plane and leave before somebody changes their mind, is what we need to do. But, we've done that before, Jenny, but there's a large or a big number of corrections we need to make. This one, we'll need to study this one, because I'm going to guess that we got out of our gap and we got hooked on defense more than we needed to. And then offensively, we just misfired some. I'm not sure that our scheme, I think our schemes were really good. I just think we misfired a few times. And then on special teams, we're gonna have to painfully watch 4 kick returns where they ran exactly what we knew they were gonna run, and they blocked us exactly like we told them they would if we didn't attack technique and use the schemes that we had designed. So that'll be a painful watch. But overall, we're going to roll out of here, and it's a good victory for our team. And I had mentioned to them to enjoy it tonight, and then, like every other game, you get a big win or a tough loss, we got to go to work tomorrow. We'll be in a dogfight next Saturday.
Anything else for Coach before we turn it over to
Go
the
ahead.
players?
Pump off. And you shifted a guy out of your shield right there.
Poor communication. So we're not supposed to do that. And I coach special teams, so that was not supposed to happen. And it's too confusing to really explain. But it was based on a certain look, and then when you shift and they were in the wrong look, we should have pulled him back. We had plenty of time. If they would have got to delay a game, we don't care, because we didn't need the field, and we didn't. And so what Hauser and I did was probably try to get too cute, and we tried to do too much. And in the end, in teaching and coaching young people, if you do too much, then they're not good at anything, and so that's what happened. It wasn't their fault, it was our fault. So
The first interception, I saw you talking to Mason. What was it, that conversation like? And I guess, what do you learn about your quarterback today, character-wise? He can throw 2 interceptions and still help you win a game.
I said, if you would have thrown that about 10 foot lower, we would have had a big play. But I said, when you throw it 10 foot over their head, chances are the corner's going to catch it. And he said, yeah, that wasn't good, was it? I said, no, it's really bad, really bad. So, but, and I said this out here, it's interesting with him. He played better after the 2 interceptions than he did before. And he's just won a lot of football games. I mean, he's won a lot of games somehow. And he shakes things off, and he goes back out, and he was pretty good that last drive. So, especially some of the run plays he checked too. Good. All right, guys, thank you.
Tell you what, let's all